went with the normal difficulty, huh? That'd be my pick for a first.
Commander, a moment of your time, if you would. Commander, I'm glad I managed to intercept you before we left. There's something of utmost importance I wish to discuss. Relax, Commander. You are not under my authority to judge. Though if you were, that phrase alone would have certainly seen you hauled off to mental refreshment. I received a message from a close friend of mine, Virgil. He was my co-protege under the Supreme Arbiter. His message claimed he had information relevant to the Supreme Arbiter's death. He wishes to meet with me at the Vox Relay on Paradise Island. You asked before, and I did not mention it. But with Virgil's message, I now must warn you. Our greatest suspect in the Supreme Arbiter's murder is the Protectorate's consul. I would gladly give my life for his without hesitation, and he for mine. We are brothers beyond blood. It has been some time since the two of us last crossed paths, but little shall have changed between us. Of this, I have no doubt. Our mentor always disdained him thoroughly, and he our mentor. If anyone would have had reason to slay her, it would have been him. But we have needed evidence. Evidence that I believe Virgil now possesses. Very good. I hope we shall see him at your earliest convenience. I feel this shall most certainly set our investigation into motion.
Moment of your time, Commander. Remember that matter on Cloister I mentioned earlier? Well, since we're here and all, thought we might take it up now. Might be hard to believe, but 20 or so odd years ago, I made a mistake. Feels like high time I righted it. Now I'm out and about again. That's where the error occurred, I believe. For many years now, a former colleague of mine. Hardly. Her research was unconventional, surely. She was. Do appreciate it. Is quite conducive for cooling the archive, and unconducive for me feeling my fingers.
The temporary indignities of the body are nothing contrasted to the Order's future. Keep the... Hold. We're presently observing a ceasefire with Auntie's choice, but its duration may be subject to sudden reversal. Would hate for you to get caught in any crossfire. Gathering data on the enemy's movements and behavior. Blizzards raise the degree of difficulty, but that's our problem, not yours. Cloister has been a difficult front, and losing the Archive, first to the invaders and now to the Protectorate, has made it even more painful. Never mind the rifts. If you're looking for a way to help us out, I recommend heading to Laplace's garden. Follow this path and you can't miss it. There were rifts since before the invasion, of course, but those were relatively stable. We've had no end to the headaches caused by the ones that have spawned since. Lost Newton to a bunch of rift worshippers after a rift appeared on the bridge to the Archive. They're obsessed. Keep hoping they'll save us some trouble and throw themselves in. Thankfully, the presiding bishop and the Laureate Council have the rift problem well in hand. So they say. I'll need to test the proof before accepting the solution, you know? See that giant glowing structure in the distance there? That's the Archive's main entry point. However, I'd caution you to give it a wide berth. The Archive's under Protectorate control, and they mean to keep it. You'll not gain access without serious military support. Are you in a high-risk life expectancy bracket? Because everything you're saying is precisely what I'd expect to hear from someone determined to lower the average. Not this many. You'll be vastly outnumbered, with predictably grim results. Only the finest place on this ice ball. Words aren't sufficient to capture its many quality attributes. Best you observe it yourself. Avalanche collapsed part of the tunnel to the garden, so the safest path is along the cliffside here. Mind your step.
Can't talk. Calculating an inverse complex sine function in my head. You appear to present a low probability of risk. Please don't invalidate me.
Show your work or shove off.
I'll admit to a bit of trepidation in regards to opening mine. This is the first one I've received since deployment.
Honestly, the ones you get in the field are life.
All clear? What are you doing here? Hey! This way.
Our lifesavers. I would have been dead 3 times over without mine.
Laplace's garden is hardly
Heard that
better
rift
than a
near the
colony's-
Archive. Halt! The Oracle Laureate sent ahead to expect someone matching your description. However, he said nothing about admitting questionable allies. Protectorate are not permitted inside Laplace's garden. Your companion will have to wait outside.
Who are you? Claiming to deny me ingress. The Protectorate's arbiters go wheresoever they deign.
Someone should have informed you, Arbiter. Cloister is not the domain of the Protectorate any longer.
I'm... what? Emotional support? You know, that has a nicer ring to it than I'd have surmised. I've never been emotional support before.
As likely as I find that theory, we have rules and regulations for a reason. We are at war, you might have noticed. Laureate Beckett did impress the importance of not delaying you. Very well, head on in. But behave yourselves. The garden is something of a fragile ecosystem.
I'm surprised you were able to manage that, Commander. Though I suspect that whether or not I cause trouble is more up to whether trouble is foisted upon us.
Cause trouble, and I will school you chapter and verse.
Agent, I have a message for you. On behalf of the Order of the Ascendant, and her impermeable wisdom, the presiding bishop Ruth Bassar, welcome to Laplace's garden. The presiding bishop is presently indisposed, but I've been instructed to direct you to the Artificer Laureate for whatever pressing matter has brought you to the garden. She's working in Belvedere Hall's secondary courtyard. Enter the large building at the top of the mesa ahead and follow the first hall on your right. Oh, yes. The vicar did ask me to direct you to him. How positively forgetful of me. He should be waiting for you in Belvedere Hall's main courtyard at the top of the stairs. The Artificer Laureate is head of the Department of Applied Scientism, overseeing the exemplars, or craftsmen, of our order. Weapons and technology all fall under her purview. Oh no, not at all. The presiding bishop routinely spends time in a sensory deprivation chamber to hone her mental faculties. Of course, she does seem to be logging more hours in the chamber of late, but I'm certain that's all part of the plan. The rest of the Laureate Council is capable of managing affairs while the presiding bishop is occupied. Really, it's no reason for concern. Nothing in the garden is. Look around you. I don't see a battlefield. Do you? All conflict is transient in nature. To dwell on the negativity of a moment is to risk missing the opportunity of what comes next. Those in the garden have enough perspective to remain present and to focus on what matters: science and progress. And you for recognizing such quality of vision. But now, I fear I have kept you long past an ideal duration. May all your problems precede solutions.
Go about your business, Order. People? I suppose I shouldn't call them scum. Do not be alarmed. I am not here to execute any of you. Yet.
I'm cutting you off there, Charles. That's your third conviction today. Welcome to the CAF integration point. Will it be caffeine or convictions today? Convictions are statements which promote personal and professional confidence and well-being, leading to 22.9% more scientific breakthroughs in a given quarter. Interested? Before I can administer your conviction, I need to ask you a question. In what area of your life do you feel you need the most improvement? Personal or professional? Expand on that for me. You are a single gear in the grand workings of the universe, and should not expect to control all of its mechanisms or outcomes. Good. Never forget that you are a valuable factor in the universal equation and necessary to advancing the plan. Now then, a brief conversation is customary following the initial service. I haven't seen you around before. New project appointment? Must be an adjustment, all things considered. Come now, don't tell me you haven't noticed our particular strain of hospitality here in the garden. I can only imagine how odd such an abundance of tranquility and friendliness must seem when contrasted with, well, anywhere else in Arcadia, especially in the middle of a war, and so near active fighting. Almost unfeasible, wouldn't you say?
You know, you do a passable impression of a scientician. Did you grow up near one of our settlements? Have a few years of order training?
I'm quite sure I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I understand you may technically count as a member, but there's a perfunctory element to your articulation. You don't believe in the plan, and you're clearly up to something. She sized you up almost immediately, Commander. Been softly probing you for information. I clocked her the first moment she opened her mouth. Appreciate that. I spent decades undercover with only self-affirmations to assuage my vacillating morale. Well, do I have to shoot up the place? Or will you come clean immediately? Who do you work for, little mole?
By the architect, keep your voice down, please. Even if what you say is true, this isn't a conversation best had amidst present company. Let's talk somewhere more private. Behind the CAF integration point, perhaps? You must be curious why I asked for such a discreet rendezvous. Allow me to whet your appetite for intrigue a little further, shall I? I have adequate reason to believe the Order is conducting a mass experiment on the population of Laplace's garden. The Order is not cultivating its perfect, plan-abiding society through careful ideological pruning, as the laureates would have you believe. It's simple pharmacology. Put bluntly, they're regulating the emotions of everyone in Laplace's garden through drugs in the water supply. Why would the Order want to create a society of undistractable little academics whose only desire is to advance the plan? I wonder. Moderate your volume, please! No one here is in any immediate peril. Probably. The Order claims the subjects here supposedly consented to participate, but it was begun prior to the schism with the Protectorate, so who's to say? Regardless, if the Order has made some kind of pharmaceutical breakthrough, imagine how useful it might be to certain parties to know about it in advance. I represent a group of information traders who would pay well to get their hands on a sample of this drug. Interested? So you've heard of us. Good. That makes this easier. My primary task has been to watch the Order. But I'm confident my superiors would agree. Physical proof is of far greater value than mere rumor. All you need to do is enter water reconditioning and collect a sample of the drug. I believe they call it Perspective. This passcode will give you access to the main terminal. Watch the guards patrol before making your way into the facility. If worst comes to worst, I wager Laureate Beckett also has a keycard on him, but that might be tricky to lift. Lately, he's been sitting near the fountains, performing his silly little breathing exercises. If he's not there, then he's likely in conference with the presiding bishop. Whatever you do, be discreet. I can't have any laureates asking questions about me. Understood? One more thing before you leave. Outside of work, I have, let's call it an alternative inventory. You'll have to pay, of course, but I'm sure I have something that'll make your job a little easier. And I'd like...
What a lamentable... I remember the days when Laplace's garden lived up to its estimable purpose. Now look at it. The fountain in disrepair, pedagogy in the park, even the lights above our heads have winked out like stars taken down from the sky. Nevertheless, one must persist. The plan is good. The shadow of ignorance cannot withstand its light. Oh, I couldn't say. This isn't my college, as it were. I'm a vicar. I tend to people's philosophical needs and leave the management of the garden to others. Oh, no? What a tremendous disappointment. Perhaps in time you will acquire the necessary skills and return. Or someone else will come along, as is the way of things.
A second makeup exam will not be offered, so not in the mood for a random interaction, thank you.
Shh! If I'm caught talking during this makeup exam, what does it matter? Can't mark the occipital from the parietal with these voided questions. And is there something wrong with the air recyclers? It's getting hard to breathe. Oh, good. Just me then. Can't believe my future in the Order will be decided by an understanding of the vaporescent properties of trinitrotoluenes. I don't even like bitrotoluenes. My vision's gone a bit fuzzy, but the exam's right here on the monitor. Have a look. You asked! I'm already perspiring beyond acceptable. I'm sure I'd recover my wits enough to tackle the rest of the test if you can just help me make sense of the first question. Just be discreet, won't you? My vision's gone a bit fuzzy, but the exam's right here on the monitor. Have a look. I'm sure I'd recover my...
Mind your truth table P's and Q's now.
On a scale of 1 to 100, how pleased are you with the garden in its current state? Please, try... Lovely day for differential
I can
geometry.
tell you have little crossover interests.
Smart researchers patronize the scientists.
Every day treating the same. The operating theater is not conducting viewing dissections at this time. That is not an invitation to return to your study and perform exploratory surgery on yourself or a willing volunteer, just to be clear. Not as concerning as some of the scenes I have been called to in the middle of the night. I assure you, the warning is justified. But I trust you are here for a reason other than to discuss scalpel-happy novices. Obviously. Do you think we drink unfiltered snow melt? I'm quite sure I have no knowledge of what you're talking about. I don't care. Is there anything else I can assist you with?
These rooms are strangely deserted. I admit I do not mind the lack of withering glares, though I wonder at the excess. Typically, the Order is efficient in its inefficiencies.
I have many solutions, but none for your problem.
Sealong didn't... Did you have something else to discuss? May the plan...
Conclusively proven about cognitive function.
I have too much on my mind for idle numerical chit-chat.
For pity's sake, is it the pump or the sealant? Industrial science is mostly theory, they said. You won't have to put your knowledge into practice for years, they said. Now the fountain's broken and I can't... Useless. I'm useless. We had an avalanche recently, not far from the dome. One of these fountains stopped working around the same time. Stands to reason something must have been jostled loose. I recently placed into the industrial sciences, so I've been entrusted to fix the issue. But I've never had to put my knowledge into application before. It's not going well. You must be an agent of the architect. The panel here controls the intake and outtake for the fountains. I'd start there.
If you need to discharge any sputum, I ask you kindly aim such accretions away from my general direction. Thank you. As a natural byproduct of human physiology, no, of course not. As a vector of disease transference, most assuredly, yes. I have a great deal of respect for infectious agents, in a very normal and legitimate manner. And so would you, if you valued your future health. I wasn't sleeping, merely waiting. I have no idea. Sometime last year, I predetermined an occasion of momentous import would happen today, right here, at these very coordinates. None taken. Oh, but now I've forgotten to introduce myself properly, haven't I? Leslie Beckett, Oracle Laureate, Seer Supreme, leader of the Department of Predictive Analysis, and not terribly good at informal introductions, evidently. Forgive me if I don't shake hands. I prefer to keep my skin microbiome free of exogenetic cells. You understand. But now, if I'm not mistaken, you must be the agent we've been expecting. I knew loitering at this location would yield results. I, don't suppose you've stumbled upon any of our excogitation chapels around Cloister by chance? Excogitation chapels are order residencies where one can meditate in solitude on specific theorems relating to the plan. They're scattered all around Cloister. Prior to the war, such focused study led to all manner of breakthroughs, with audio logs routinely kept by the scientician in residence. In these unprecedented times, such logs could harbor hidden wisdom. However, with the war on, I've sadly been unable to get my hands on the last of these recordings. Oh, no. I couldn't possibly ask you to endanger yourself by seeking out these logs. Cloister is rather treacherous, and some of the chapels are difficult to reach by design. However, if you happened upon these chapels and recovered these logs, I would most certainly be interested in their contents. By my reckoning, the amount of logs to be collected is 4. You have that? 4. No more, no less. Each chapel should have at least one somewhere inside. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Oh, yes, I'm aware. Better to know the spy in our midst than receive a replacement more capable of evading notice. Besides, Miss Doyle's harmless, and she serves the best convictions at the parlor, bar none. If you've already spoken with her about the experiment, I suppose there's no use in me playing coy, As you have cleverly sussed out, Laplace's garden is the subject of an experiment into social conditioning, or curating, if you will, through the use of therapeutic pharmacology. We have been administering a pharmaceutical to the population of the garden via the water supply that aids in emotional regulation. We call it perspective. It's odorless, harmless. Well, apart from the withdrawal, but I can assure you we have our best minds working on that little issue. Minor complication at worst. I'm pleased you agree. Though, to be clear, it wouldn't have mattered much if you felt differently. But now, where were we? Oh, yes. The spy. Has she now? A little ahead of schedule. No matter. You should do as she asks. Get her that sample. This is an unparalleled opportunity to see the shape of Sub Rosa's web. We only need plant the right fly. After collecting the sample, mix it with this liquid tracer. It'll make the drug functionally inert and allow us to track it wherever it shows up next. I did not become the Oracle Laureate by getting caught with my pencil down. Here, take this key. It will grant you access to water reconditioning, which you can find on the eastern side of the garden. You will also need this passcode for the terminal inside. Don't we all? Nothing beyond what I already included in my 165-page summary of the incident. Why do you ask? His resignation has been duly received and accepted. Where he goes from here or what he does now is up to him. I expect we won't hear from him anytime soon. On a more positive note, the Department of Predictive Analysis's biennial summits will be far less contentious. Now, wait a moment. I think you forget we are not the Protectorate. The Order is not interested in punitive justice. Better to repair the harm than inflict further injury, at any rate. Wiley has elected to punish himself. With time, there is a high chance he'll arrive at a new equilibrium in his life. Plan willing? But let's move on to other topics, please. All this fractious talk is giving me a stomachache and... oh, I just got rid of the last one. Oh, the garden is a marvel, isn't it? A prime example of how this colony could function if led by science and rationality instead of fear and oppression. Everything within the garden was meticulously selected by a committee of the Order's best archivists to provide for mental clarity and focus. My word, you should have seen the debates over the shrubbery. I've never witnessed such passionate discourse over foliage of all things. And what a history it is. The Order of the Ascendant, along with the Archive, has been headquartered on this moon since the founding of the colony. It was given to us by the matriarch herself. She understood how vital our contributions would be to Arcadian society, which some have forgotten. It is why we're here, in fact. Cloister has two things in abundance: ice and geothermal power. Both made it the ideal location for the Archive, and we've utilized its vast computational power ever since. Indeed. It's been a favorite bone, fought over by the dogs of war, but I have every confidence it will end up back under Order control sometime in the next year. Or 7. But other stray inquiries occupy your mind. Impossible, I'm afraid. The Protectorate is rather well entrenched at present, and nothing short of an all-out siege is likely to dislodge them. If you're determined, I recommend consulting with the presiding bishop on the matter. She can tell you more.
That's one way to become the center of attention.
The Chamber of Conflict Evaluation and Strategic Planning is currently off limits to non-essential personnel.
Well, I'll be hanged. At the pitter of footsteps at my door, I expected another Order ankle nipper, bent on furthering my disquietude. Philo Tresmer, Protectorate wordsman at arms. Mercenary, huh? Your demeanor speaks for itself. In a different life, we might have been enemies. But as far as I'm concerned, anyone here not a traitorous, thrice-damned scientist is a compatriot of mine. Not sure what's... Are you truly so blinded by intricate lattices and scientific hokum that you fail to notice the obvious? The individuals here are cut from the same cloth as the Protectorate, but dare to suggest they have a grander understanding of Arcadia's needs. Yet even as the war is dragged on, they fail to concede. Lost sheep can only wander for so long before someone decides to slaughter them. Hate is an inaccurate phrase. I find them arrogant and exasperating. Without the Protectorate, this little organization would have no holdings to squat in. I am here because the Sovereign has tasked me with bringing these wayward, pretentious toddlers back into the Protectorate fold. Unfortunately, my time here has taught me that only mass death has the power to change the local hearts and minds. Perhaps enough will be alive to save afterwards. I am not just anyone. The duty of a liaison is of the utmost importance, requiring due diligence and delicacy. Though I suppose it a mite strange that this task fell to me, as I'd urge the vehement tanning of any wayward body bent on disrespecting the Protectorate. As of yet, that does not include the other Protectorate personnel I've encountered on Cloister, even though they seem loyal to the Consul above all else. The Consul is intended to supplement the Sovereign's rule, acting as a spy master and war coordinator. But of late, he has been overactive. The Consul is doing his duty, but I'm concerned that the people may begin to look to him for guidance instead of the Sovereign. I've heard rumors of late that a foolish minority has become skeptical of the Sovereign's leadership. Madness, I say. We must have faith. Listen, you. The Protectorate does not do delegation. The Protectorate has a will that must be upheld. My presence here is a display of more faith than these fools deserve. Niceties are irrelevant, and likely detrimental to the task at hand. I am here to make the Order see the error of their ways. All other particulates are frivolous.
No admittance without the Artificer Laureate's permission.
Along the entire intestinal tract. These worms are eventually expelled when they reach a size.
I hope you have good news for me. I knew I had the right person for the job. You've saved me quite the headache. Your reward, as promised. Aw, wondering if you'll ever see me again? Precious. I'll remain in the garden a little while longer, but it would be best if we limited contact with one another. No offense. But who knows? The plan mystifies even the greatest minds. Perhaps our paths will intersect again someday.
Relationship as a parasitical relationship. Given that initial classification error, it's a wonder the Auntie's Choice scientists managed to ascertain after some additional Auntie's Choice field researchers discovered that
Welcome back, Agent. I trust Laplace's garden is treating you well? In what manner can I assist you? And how did she receive it? Indeed you are. A specimen of superb subterfuge. Pity the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection was shut down years ago. You'd have been a natural candidate.
Please. They'd never make it past the initial evaluation. The 48-hour concurrent theoretical debate /mathalon/obstacle course /marksmanship challenge weeds out most.
Always did find that evaluation a little immoderate. You made the right choice cooperating with the Order in this matter. Please accept this primer. It's a concoction of my own design. I foresee it being of great value to you. I thought you understood what we were trying to accomplish here. Well, I would not be a very good scientist if I kept my mind closed to other perspectives. Make your case, and I promise to listen. We would never allow that to happen. Perhaps I've kept myself from seeing how fraught this experiment truly is. Recent events have certainly provided good reason to update my risk metrics. Even a desire for progress may sometimes divide one from their senses. You've given me much to consider. I'll speak with the presiding bishop about the matter promptly.
Agent, over here. Ah, there you are. I was informed by Gertie you've agreed to help us reconvene negotiations. With your aid, Auntie's Choice and the Order will soon be rivals no longer. Just think of all we can accomplish if our two sides reject fractiousness and combine our efforts. Remember, seek out ways to help both sides. Engender trust. Gertie and I will let you know when it's time to move forward. In the meantime, I might recommend you work on honing your oratory skills. Our presiding bishop and Auntie Cleo can be challenging to debate with.
A visitor? It's for the best that you're talking to me now instead of mid-work. I do seem to have a slight propensity for stabbing randomly with my tools when interrupted, but I suppose that's enough time spinning in the statements column. Speak away. What are you... Beckett. Another prediction that he hasn't seen fit to notify me about. A more cynical exemplar might posit his doing this to be intentional. If you're here, I imagine you aim to petition the presiding bishop for her support, which is hardly a surprise. She is the most important individual in Arcadia. Not if I cannot gauge for certain if you can be trusted. I cannot allow just anyone to wander into Ruth's quarters. But there is something you could do to prove yourself worthy. A myriad of cultists have taken over the settlement of Newton, which is a nearby site of historical but not strategic significance. I want them gone. Once there was a bridge stretching from the settlement to the archive, but it was destroyed by a rift. Best keep your distance should you travel there. From what I understand, Vicar Levin's continued existence is a mere side effect of whatever personal vendetta you happen to be attending to. I'm pleased he does not lie among the ranks of the dead, but I will need a more tangible effort on your part to trust you. I'll withhold my appreciation until this task is complete. May you act within the equation's confines.
We should collect Azza from the ship first, unless you don't want the benefits of her inside knowledge of the cult.
Use caution as you progress. There's been reports. Premeditating violence.
This might step aside, swine.
Try to limit further.
It appears we've dealt with all of them. Ah, that was a close one.
Soldier, please assess your pain on a variable scale of 1 to 100, with 1 being entirely pain-free and 100 being the worst pain you can imagine.
There is far...
I have nothing to say, unless
Please
you
don't take
want
me
to
on a
discuss the inverse
cotangent.
of the Planck function, in which case I'll talk your ear off.
I won't think twice about applying the precise amount of force.
Hello. Farewell.
Have an intellectually
Thank you for this
stimulating day.
efficiently compact conversation.
I've got your numeral.
Happy to
Keep
chat
moving.
report 07 seconds. Oh, time's up. Bye.
Do you see these magnificent weapons? They have the greatest destructive potential the Protectorate can bring to bear. Tell me then, why should they not have
Another object, just gone. Nothing.
Excuse me, I don't think
You
you have
okay?
the author is...
It's
fascinating. Decimal points. It seems gravity doesn't...
Salutations. We've been doing our utmost to find ways to manipulate this rift or extract data from it. Unfortunately, our efforts have been ineffective thus far. I suppose it's too much to hope for, but would you, perchance, happen to have any practical experience with or mathematical understanding of the rift phenomena? Hmm?
Captain, I fear I have a confession to make. I have found being present on the cloister under
Sir, the extra food drop has landed somewhere off target over in Order territory. Exactly where I wanted it.
If you're not a go-getter, then
Can't
go
you
away.
see I'm on the
How do
clock
you
here? Huckleberry Crunch. Real warriors eat it right from the box. Go consume like a good consumer.
Take it up with the head office. Hey, you there. Got a minute? Hey, you there. I got a job that needs doing if you've got the time. It pays, of course. I need help finding some lost supplies. Of course. Wouldn't trust someone who takes a job without knowing about it first. It's like this. The dullards in orbit dropped a slew of pods in the wrong place. One of them has a critical crate of supplies in it. Find it and bring it back. Real simple, see? Job's a simple one. Can't rightly figure what else needs jawing about. Missing parts for Auntie's Choice of standard infantry boots, sizes 6 to 14. They botched it. and dropped a whole mess of them. But I only need you to lay hands on the one. Stars, glad to hear it. I'll mark the drop spot on your map. Good luck. How about I do my job and you do whatever it is you do.
Yeah.
Don't cause trouble. I don't need the extra paperwork.
I seriously question the structural integrity of that bridge. Mobilizing.
Oh, who is? It's like Sting. Alive.
Torpificator at ready status. Capacitor deployed. Knocking them down. They're benumbed.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
The Oracle Laureate hoped that sending me into desolation would mend what he saw as wounds in my mind. The first few weeks were horrible. Grief dogging my every step. Nightmares of my murdered colleagues. But
There's
then,
little you could tell me I
the
couldn't
nightmares
also tell
began
you.
to ease, and the grief ebbed away. What replaced them is emptiness. The Order speaks of humanity becoming something more, but their words are insufficient speculation. There is nothing more to be. Only dust and death, and the rifts await us. Those rifts, I find the absolute annihilation they offer oddly soothing. Perhaps I will make one last pilgrimage. One last journey on the path from nothing to nowhere.
Welcome to Auntie's Choice. Hello. And goodbye.
Welcome, big spender.
Auntie's Choice welcomes you to Forward Operating Base 136, Future Consumer. You should take care in this hostile climb. Risks include inclement weather, hostile animals, risk of collateral damage, leaking uranium, artillery, shrapnel, frostbite, cave-ins, hypothermia, cultists, landmines, long falls, gangrene, damaged electrical equipment, and insect bites. Ascertaining risks and sending the appropriate low-ranking soldiers to meet them is a predominant requirement of any Auntie's Choice leader. That's enough for rote greetings. You're not a feckless civilian. Cloisters aside, I want off-planet yesterday, with my extremities intact, and that necessitates aid. Some Protectorate jackanapes are holed up on some main routes near here, thereby separating us from the rest of our force. Remove them by any means. Preferably by the sooner you get rid of them, get to mind your own business interests. I'm open to ideas.
Put it in a memo.
The scrappers are getting closer and sniffing around at night.
Welcome, distinguished
Schedule an appointment if you need to talk to me.
True, but that wreckage isn't going to hold their interest forever. Eventually, they're going to come over here and see what we have that's worth tweaking.
us now. He finds it, we keeps it. You go away.
You dumber!
Hostilities are afoot. Enemy intercepted.
Energy capacitor out.
Step aside.
Stop taking the fight out. Lock it. I'll handle this. Capacitor unit away. We've suffered extensive damage, Commander. Unready. Violence.
This might sting. Step aside. Swine.
Go for qualification. Energy capacitor out. Energy is up to draw.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Taking the fight out of them. Torpification in progress. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Capacitor deployed. Free energy if you can reach it.
I'm alive. Who needs to die? Yeah.
Unfriendly company. They're mine.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Oh, you will. This might sting. A lot. Corpificator is charged.
Recharge for mayhem.
Self-preservation.
Either restore my life or avenge my death.
Mitigating the threat. There be none. Throwing energy your way.
So, I'm trapped. Messages to the Order left unanswered. Tried to run. Got about 2/5 of me gouged out. A lot of blood. Last now. Spent much of my life wondering what I'd say at the end. Trying to think of the words for this felt like reading a thesis before the presiding bishop. But a lot of people die. And not a lot of final words get remembered. Certainly no one will hear these. So why worry about being meaningful? What matters is who I was when I was alive. And if I was predestined to be Ursapod food. I think maybe I would have liked to re-roll the odds.
backward to any rod in the network. A convenient
Welcome to the Scientician Surplus. I am the Scientician in question. Either you intend to buy or you intend to... Of course you will.
An intriguing possibility to consider as you mull the many fascinating facts
If you're here, what was Beckett thinking? Ending the experiment? Evidently. Seeing as you should notice an immediate improvement. Is there anything else I can assist you with? That is best.
Investigating hostile intentions.
To restore my life or avenge my death.
Thank you, dear.
I'm alive. Who needs to die?
Standing by to stupefy. Capacitor unit away. Recharge before it discharges. Capacitor out. Get it while it's energized. You've suffered short on targets at the moment. Taking the fight, mitigating the threat. Saving the delegates from DeVries took considerable... Of course you could, but you didn't. They still might have a role to play if we're to close the rifts. May all...